Hi, I'm Leighton Barr.
And I'm Kathryn Hoover.
And this is News.
Okay. First, let's head over to Leighton's interview with Mr. Long and Mr. Venable on the Powder Puff win.
Hey guys, you may be wondering why you're seeing me instead of Leighton, but honestly that story is for a completely different day. For right now, let's get into the 2024 Powder Puff football game. In our last edition of News, you got to see the long-term battle between Mr. Reed and Mr. Welch, and Mr. Long and Mr. Venable. Now, while both teams competed very intensely, Mr. Long and Mr. Venable were able to pull out the dub at the game. Now, not much can be stated on either behalves, and none of our opinions can be stated either, but honestly, condolences to Mr. Reed and Mr. Welch, and congratulations to Mr. Long and Mr. Venable for getting the win. That's honestly all I came on here to say, so thank you and good night.
Now let's head over to Layla's interview with our athletic trainer, Miss Kaiser.
Hi, I'm Layla McCutcheon, and today I'm here with Mrs. Kaiser. Miss Kaiser, what is your role here at Musselman High?
Hi, Layla. My role at Musselman is the athletic trainer.
Miss Kaiser, what made you get into athletic training?
That's a great question. I took the athletic training class here at Musselman High School back in 2014 and didn't really know what to expect, just took it as an elective course and was thrown into it on my schedule and just fell in love with it. Learned about the body and different injuries, how to rehab and heal those injuries, and all kinds of stuff. And here I am.
Was there another career that interested you before you did athletic training?
Yes. Before I learned about athletic training, I really enjoyed chemistry, and so I thought I wanted to be a chemist and help with creating vaccinations and different pharmaceutical drugs. I'm glad I found athletic training, though. It's a lot more fun. I have a lot more fun at my job now.
Well, that's good. What college did you go to for athletic training, and what type of classes did you have to take?
I went to West Virginia Wesleyan College for undergrad. Got my Bachelor's of Science in Athletic Training in 2019. I had to take courses like human anatomy and physiology, biology, chemistry, kinesiology, psychology of injury, nutrition, and a whole host of other things, but that's just to name a few.
That's a lot.
It's a lot of science classes. There were some that were hands-on. There was like emergency care of the athlete, where we practiced splinting and spine boarding, advanced airways. Of course, we had like taping and bracing classes where we learned about how to tape an ankle, different parts of the body, put on like ankle braces, knee braces, slings, things like that.
Okay. Now, as our football season is coming to an end, how do you prepare for Friday night?
Friday night football, there's a lot that goes on. A lot of that prep starts Thursday evening and even earlier in the week. My students and I arrive at the football field right after school, have a quick dinner, and then immediately have to start getting the field ready. There's a big checklist of everything that needs to happen. We need to make sure that we have all of the emergency equipment available and packed, organized neatly, that it all works. Nothing is like broken randomly over the week if we needed to use it during practices or other games. We have to get waters together and injury ice together. And then of course we need to work with our athletes as well who are about to play. So that is everything from getting them taped up, checking on any new injuries, doing treatments or rehab if they're not able to play that night to get them better for next week. And then as the kickoff time gets closer, edit that out. As we get closer to kickoff time, my role becomes introducing myself to the EMS crew on site, talking with the refs so they know that I'm there, and also talking with the visiting athletic trainer to make sure that they have everything ready to go that they need, if there's anything that I can provide for them to make their lives easier. And that communication happens even earlier in the week as well. There are a lot of moving parts and pieces from my aspect, just in order to get everybody on the field on Friday night.
So you mentioned having students on the sideline with you, and do you say that makes your job easier throughout the week, like with practices and game days?
Layla, my students are great. They are called Athletic Training Student Aides, and their role is to assist me or aid me in day-to-day tasks. And they're also an extra set of eyes and ears during practices and games. So they help with waters. We teach them how to properly do the steps for first aid care, how to tape ankles and wrists for things, different types of stretches that they can do, that they can show the athletes, help with sign-ins and treatment logs and things like that, all kinds of day-to-day tasks. I would say for the most part, they definitely make my life easier. There are some times where I would say my job is a little bit, there's that added responsibility there to have those students and keep track of them and make sure they're doing their job correctly, but they're there to learn and to serve others, which I think is really noble of them, and I'm really proud of them this year.
Nice. And when you're on the sidelines, what is your favorite thing to do?
My favorite thing on the sideline is when I get to just sit back and I don't have to do my job. I get to watch the Applemen play no matter what the sport is, and I'll get into it too. I'll jump up and down. I'll run along the sideline with them if there's a big play or there's a touchdown. I love cheering them on and giving them high fives when they're coming off the sideline. And I love hearing Harry Burker say, "Taken down by a bushel of Applemen." What a great tradition. Great traditions on Friday night. It's a great atmosphere. There's nothing like Friday Night Lights. It's wonderful. Just a great team to be a part of this year. Happy to be there.
Nice. Thank you. I enjoyed this. This was really nice.
This was great, Layla. This was really nice to meet you and get to sit down and talk with you today.
You too.
Thank you for having me.
Now some words from our new staff at Musselman High.
Who am I here with today?
Miss Bond.
And why did you decide to come to Musselman out of all schools?
Musselman High School is my alma mater. After teaching middle school English, I felt I was ready for a fresh start in education. When I learned from colleagues that Berkeley County was opening a leadership and student council role here at Musselman, I reflected and prayed about it and decided that I was ready to apply. So I did, and I obviously accepted the position, thankfully. My passion lies in working with students and creating a safe and welcoming environment for everyone in our community. I believe that fostering a supportive atmosphere is essential for student growth and success. And I'm eager to collaborate with fellow educators and students to enhance our school spirit and engagement. I look forward to this new chapter and opportunity to make a meaningful impact at Musselman.
Who am I here with today?
Mr. Slezak,
And why did you decide to come to Musselman?
because I had a friend that always said the grass is greener on the other side, but that stuff still needs mowed. So I wanted to mow the grass here where my kids will go to school and where I can have a greater impact on my community.
That was good. Who am I here with today?
I'm Mr. Sama,
And why did you decide to come to Musselman?
because my son was entering high school, so he's a freshman here.
Woo! Who am I here with today?
Mrs. Shockey.
And why did you decide to come to Musselman?
I've been teaching for 16 years, and I've been teaching middle school for all 16 years. So I just decided I wanted to change, and I wanted to give the high school a try, and I really like the school. So
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Here's Regan and Chancey's room tour with Miss Rasco.
Hi guys, come on in.
This is Miss Rasco's newspaper class, and not many kids are here today because they're out for walking pneumonia. Including
Literally.
me.
And me.
Okay.
Right here is just my boards. I always have all my classes up here, which I do teach quite a few classes. I always have up things that they need to know in school, such as technology, where they can have tutoring. Any upcoming events or important information I love to throw up front for students. And then the awesome board, usually with instructions to tell kiddos, hey, what do you need to get out and get working on just for the beginning of class to get us going. Around my boards I have some mood lighting. I hate harsh lighting, and I know a lot of kids do. It can bother them, and it just makes the room a little bit more cozy. Additionally, up front have my books and a ton of materials students, if they just ask to use, they can. I love having my Once an Appleman, Always an Appleman up front. That's so kids kind of hear a little bit about the spirit of our school when they're in my classroom. And then posters of my students' work. That's some of my favorite things to put up in my room and decorate, which you'll see everywhere in the room at some point. It's one of my favorite things to have in my room. Here we have my bookshelf that I actually just gained last year. I was fortunate enough to write a grant to get extra books for my young adult fiction classes. So currently a little bit empty from students, but they did help me out with building it with a couple of little Funko Pops and little figurines of TV shows or movies I really enjoy. And then over here, again, I love to get to know my students every year, so I do a license plate project where they can represent themselves a little bit to tell me about them and also share it with the room as well. Back here, I have my board with a calendar on. I really like kids to be able to know what's upcoming and going on in class. And additionally, have a couple projects pulled out right now for examples for my students to see from my past students. Some ranging from really cool characters that they created to known characters that they added on to.
Get a clip of me.
And here's my desk along with a little personal corner. I love nature. My kids usually figure that out, that my favorite place to be would be outside, hiking on trails. And then just little trinkets and decorations of my home life and past students who've also given me gifts or little notes to remind them by. Cozy little corner.
Woohoo. Okay. What do you teach here at Musselman High School?
I currently teach a couple of classes. I teach English, English honors in general, the newspaper class, which is called the Cider Press, and then 2 different types of young adult fiction, one that's for freshmen only, and then I also teach upperclassmen who choose that for an elective.
And why do you teach English?
English was my first choice whenever I went to college and I decided I wanted to be a teacher. English just spoke to me when I was in school. I really enjoyed the class and all the teachers I always had, and I knew that for some reason that would be the content that I could teach the best.
And what inspires you to teach?
What inspires me to teach? Pretty similar to the last one, that I had really amazing teachers. All throughout my schooling, they were the teachers that stuck out. I can remember every single one of their names. They always pushed me to do the best that I could. Additionally, those were the teachers that helped me understand that there was a tutoring opportunity to work with kids when I was in high school. That tutoring opportunity, I really found out, like, hey, I enjoy helping others, and if I really enjoy the content and I know I like to help people, then this is the exact path that I want to take.
Mm-hmm. And what did you do before becoming a teacher?
Before becoming a teacher, although that was the track, no matter what, whenever I went to college, I at first moved back home to Pennsylvania. They didn't have any job openings, so I took whatever job I could. So long-term substitute teaching. I actually long-term substitute taught for history, and then I also did English before I got my job down here. Because I had met my husband at that time and knew the area through attending college at Shepherd. That meant I was like, hey, well, I know the area. I applied and I got in here at Musselman.
Mm-hmm. And why did you switch?
That switch was important just because teaching is what I really wanted to do. I wanted my own classroom, and although doing long-term substituting was nice and I was near my family, I just really wanted to be in the classroom and have my own room to design and plan my own lesson plans and my own teaching. Bye, Regan. See you next time.
Thank you for watching News.
See you next time.